Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You may be asking, Kate, where are you? That is clearly not your house. It's way too nice. And the answer is yes, it's not my house. I am in Mexico with James, which is so nice. We arrived on Sunday night and I'm currently filming this Tuesday morning. I have already listened to a couple of books. We've only been here 2 days. The first book that I have finished was The Summer of Broken Rules. This I listened to from the library. I started it a few weeks ago when we had a glimmer of sunshine in Northern Ireland. Felt fairly meh about it, and so paused it and picked it up yesterday while we were just chilling by the pool. My thoughts on it are fairly meh, like it's fine. It felt very childish. It felt more like a young teen book than kind of like a college age. The next book, The Heartbreak Rule by Stephanie Archer. This is, again, fine. This morning, while I was waiting for the world to wake up and the sun to come up, I started listening to The Brothers Hawthorne. I was about to buy it on Audible and then my hold on the library came through, which was so exciting. So I've just started that this morning. I'm literally like 30 minutes in, but so far I'm liking it. I've heard mixed reviews and so we'll see what happens. The next book that I have started, I started it on the plane as well, is The Long Game by Elena Armas. I am currently 76 pages in and I think I just want something to happen. It's been 76 pages of kind of hinting at something and I feel like that kind of reveal is going to give context to a lot of kind of the behaviour and why things are the way they are. But I just want that context, not me. The next book I brought, and I was not anticipating buying this book, but it is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. I read the first 2 books on Kindle and I had no intention of buying the physical copy until I saw this in Sainsbury's for £5. That's a lot of pages for £5. And so I was panicking. I didn't have enough physical books and I wasn't really sure kind of what the situation was going to be with my Kindle connect to the Wi-Fi. I was worried I wouldn't have enough books. Okay, the next book I brought, and I'm not convinced I'll get to this book, but it is Black Butterflies. This book sounds fascinating. It says, Sarajevo, spring 1992. Each night, nationalist gangs erect barricades, splitting the diverse city into ethnic enclaves. Each morning, the residents, whether Muslim, Croat or Serb, push the makeshift barriers aside. When violence finally spills over, Zora, an artist and teacher, sends her family to safety in England while she remains. As the city falls under siege, Zora and her friends are forced to rebuild themselves over and over. This is a breathtaking story of disintegration, resilience and hope. I think this sounds fantastic. And then along the similar theme, when I was in the Gatwick airport, I bought the airport paperback of The Book of Fire. This book is quite similar in kind of ideas as Black Butterflies, and this says, a family from 2 nations, England and Greece, live a simple life in a tiny Greek village. Their life goes up in flames when one man starts a fire out of greed and indifference. Many are killed, homes are destroyed, and the region's natural beauty is wiped out. But this family has survived, and slowly green shoots of hope and renewal will grow from the smouldering ruins of devastation. I'm excited. I specifically bought this because I think that this size of book is like the elite size. It's the size of a hardback, but it is paperback, and you cannot buy these really in the UK unless you're in an airport. And so I wanted to buy everything really. This has been a long introduction, so let's get to the reading. I am about to sit out on my balcony hammock and keep reading. I think I'll keep reading The Long Game, so come with me. It is now the next day. It's about 6 p.m. We have been hanging out, chilling by the pool. I have been listening to The Brothers Hawthorne and I am at 34% with that. I'm liking it. I'm intrigued, pretty much at the minute. With The Long Game, I am at 27%. I still feel I'm not in love with the characters yet. More is happening, which is good, but I'm not in love with them yet. And then this morning I went down to the pool and took my Kindle and just sat in the pool and read. No one was around, it was really nice. I started Out on a Limb by Hannah Bottom Young. I got this on Kindle Unlimited. I feel like I've seen it all over TikTok, and so I thought I'd give it a go. So far I am 20% in. It's fine. It's a pretty easy, quick read, but we haven't really kind of got to loads of substance yet. And so I'm excited to see what happens there. I have about 30 minutes before I need to get ready for dinner. And so yeah, I'm just gonna sit out in the balcony in the hammock again and read. Tell me about what you're reading, James.
This is The Word is Murder by Anthony Horowitz. It's a book about Anthony Horowitz, the author of the book, writing a book, which is this book, but also might not be this book. And in it, there is a murder, which is why the word is murder. It's very good. It's about a woman who plans her own funeral and is then murdered that same night. Really recommend it. I'm on page 314. There are more pages. I will read them. I look forward to it. 10 out of 10.
Usually we rate books out of 5. What's your vibes so
11
far?
out of 14. Cruise ship.
Anything else you'd like to tell the people?
Subscribe and like.
Thank you. It's day 6 of our holiday. I'm still reading The Long Game. I've been reading this every day. I started it in the airport technically 7 days ago. It never takes me that long to read. All of my other currently reading books would beg to differ. Still finding it slow. We are 273 pages in, and I feel like we're kind of only just getting to things happening. Do I get the 5-star feeling? No. Probably more of like a 2.5 to 3. But I think having also read Out on a Limb at the same time as reading this, like that just feels like such a better romance. I'm gonna finish this. Mentally, I told myself yesterday I was gonna finish this, and then I did not. So today, I'm gonna finish this. If it's the last thing I do. Good morning. It is like day 7, maybe? Yeah, it's Sunday. So tonight we'll have been here for 7 full days, which is crazy. It's been amazing. Yesterday we actually moved rooms. I can't take you outside because the lens will instantly fog. But essentially our old room looked onto this room, and this one has like its own pool, which is amazing. Update on the reading. Yesterday I finished The Long Game. That was my task for yesterday, and I did it. I didn't love it. I think if I was to rate this, it would be like a 2.75 or a 3. I wanted to love it and I just didn't, and that's quite unfortunate. So it is what it is. After this, I kind of feel in a little bit of a slump. I thought I'd just be like riding the romance high after this book, and I usually on holiday just love easy romances, but I haven't particularly been in the mood. What I actually think I'm going to pick up next is The Word is Murder. James has already read this and he really enjoyed it, and he thought that I would really enjoy it. So this is what I'm going to read now. I'm going to jump in the pool and yeah, bring you with me in about 15 minutes when the lens defogs. The camera is so steamed up. It is our last day, which is crazy. It may have been a couple of days since I last vlogged. I can't quite remember. But we've moved rooms again. So we're like back in a room similar to the first one. In terms of books, I have finished The Word is Murder by Anthony Horowitz. I really liked it. I think the premise was smart and there was lots of twists and turns, which I always really enjoy. I have picked up the second one on my Kindle and I'm like 25% of the way through, but I just haven't like been super drawn in. I think I'm like yet to like connect with the characters and the crime. But it was good. This morning I also finished The Brothers Hawthorne on audio from the library. It was good, I really liked it. I think my thoughts on it was that I wish that I had reread the first 3 books, and I wish that I had read them because I listened to them originally before getting to this one, because there were quite a few times where I was like, wait, which brother is this and what happened and how do they relate to Avery and what is this? So that was definitely a bit confusing, but we got there in the end and I liked it, and I think I'll definitely pick up the next one. But for now, I think the plan for today is just to sit by the pool. I probably won't take my camera, and just to kind of soak up every last second. So the next time you see me may be in the airport or at home. Okay, so we are back from holiday. We are back in Belfast. So as a wrap up, I thought I would go through all of the books that I bought and took on holiday, and then all of the books that I actually read. So let's go through all the books that I bought and brought on holiday first. These were The Book of Fire by Christy Lefterry. I bought this in the airport in Gatwick. I really like Christy Lefterry books, but I was not, to be honest, imagining that I would actually get to it on holiday, so not totally mad about this one. It is a nice big book, and so happy to have this on my shelf. The Long Game by Elena Armas. I bought this in Waterstones with the full intention on reading it, and I did. Things We Left Behind. I bought this on a whim, thinking that I would probably get to it, but I actually didn't. I read the first chapter on the plane on the way home, but then because it was an overnight flight, I read on my Kindle instead because of the light. So no, I didn't get to this one. Black Butterflies. I thought that I might get to this one, and to be honest, if we had been there any longer, I think this is the one I would have picked up next. I kept picking it up every time I needed a new book, but to be honest, I didn't want to get it wet because I think this is one that I want to stay on my shelf for a long time, and so it wasn't the perfect pool read. Next was The Last Devil to Die. I actually completely forgot that we brought this book. So James had it for the first half of the holiday. It is so tattered and a bit ripped. James brought this and read it right at the start of the holiday. He demolished it, he really enjoyed it, and my full intention was to pick this up straight after he finished it, but then I just got distracted and then it was never like in the room, and so I just completely forgot that it existed, but I definitely do want to read this at some point. And then The Word is Murder by Anthony Horowitz. James bought this in the airport in Gatwick, and I had no intention of reading it at the start, but James read it and loved it and really wanted me to read it, and I did, and it was great. So I read this one, and then I read the second one on my Kindle. Bought books while I was away, the 2 features being Beach Read and Book Lovers by Emily Henry, which I bought in like a little Spanish bookshop, and they had a few English books, a couple of American covers, so of course I had to pick these up. I have not read them, but obviously they weren't meant to be read on holiday, but I will read them. Obviously I brought my Kindle as well. I had a bunch of Kindle Unlimited books downloaded that I thought maybe I'd read. I got to a couple. The last book that I technically bought before holiday, that arrived during holiday, but I wasn't here for, so I didn't read, was Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This arrived on release day while we were away. This is probably what I'm going to read next. Yeah, I think I'm excited for this. The cover is gorgeous. Obviously I am such a sucker for a cartoon cover, and so we'll see what happens. So on to everything that I actually read on holiday. First up, we had The Heartbreak Rule by Stephanie Archer. I read this on the plane on the way. So I finished it before we even got to Mexico. This was fun, easy, and I actually really liked it. I thought the premise was good. It gave me big funny feelings vibes. Next up was The Summer of Broken Rules, which I listened to on audio from the library. I started this a few weeks ago when we had like a sunny spell in Northern Ireland. But then I put it down because I didn't really fancy it. But I finished it again. It was fine. Not my favourite book of the year. Next was Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. This book I feel like everyone is talking about at the minute. I read this on Kindle Unlimited and I rated it 3.75. I thought it was really good. I know that not everyone loves the pregnancy trope, but I feel like it was like done really well. And I think who doesn't want a guy like Beau? And so yeah, really enjoyed it. Next up was The Long Game by Lena Armaz. I already talked about this a little bit before. It didn't hit where I wanted it to. I just think her books probably aren't for me. Will I keep reading them? Probably, because I love the idea of loving them. And I like the stories. They're not bad stories. They're just not the best books I've ever read. Next I read The Word is Murder by Anthony Horowitz. I would actually really recommend these books. So I really love like YA mystery, and I think these books scratch the itch in my brain for like YA mystery, but they're adult. But I think they're not horror or thriller, and I really enjoy that. Like, they're just smart. I think I will also like the naturals from the sounds of things. I have the first two on my Kindle, and so I will try and get to those I think in October. Next I listened to The Brothers Hawthorne by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Again, I've kind of already mentioned this. I wish that I had reread or re-listened to the first three before getting to this one, because there was just so much that I couldn't remember, but I thought it was good. I will definitely listen or read the next one in the series. I'll probably listen to it again. Next up was The Sentence is Death, which is the second in The Word is Murder, Anthony Horowitz series. Really good, really like this one. And the last book, which I started on the way home and finished on the way home, was The Wrong Mr. Right by Stephanie Archer. So actually we started and finished with a Stephanie Archer book, which that's kind of nice full circle. I really love Friends to Lovers, which is what this book was pitched as, and so I was really excited for it. I think it wasn't 100% Friends to Lovers. It was more kind of strangers to friends lovers. But yeah, it was good. I like the story. I'm not gonna bother, I think, with any of the others in that series. My Kindle Unlimited is expiring in like 9 days. And so I think I'll just let everything go that I haven't finished until then. I hope that you enjoyed seeing what I've been reading on holiday and snippets of hopefully what I'm going to get to this month. As always, you can find me on Instagram at Kate's Literature or on this channel. See you soon.